arrested and doing time in Mexico. Everybody extradited over there and doing their time there. That'll be justice for us as of now.
Can you say anything?
We can't say anything. Yeah, we can't say anything about it, but they're working on it.
What they're doing?
Like I said, I'm believing exactly what they got to do. My faith is in God. My faith is in God, man. That was my faith at. From day one. I said, God showed me what happened. And he stopped pulling layers, man. He stopped pulling layers. Y'all got the story. Everybody got the story, saw the story. And then y'all saw how they did Shanquella. They get charged for it, man. And they go back over there and do the time. Because that's what they did the crime at. And they left her there, man. They left her in that house, man. They left her there for the maids to find her. Don't you know how much of pain my daughter suffered for the injuries, that she took, She was smaller frame, man. For them to sit there and try to get her no help or nothing. I just want justice, man.
Yes, I'm here visiting on vacation, and I need to bring my son into the emergency room. Is this the emergency room?
Yes, we have a doctor on duty. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so I'm from America, and I have cash and I have my insurance. Is there, how much do I have to pay?
Well, the consumption is around $192.
Initially, the story from the folks with Shanquella in Mexico was that a lot of complications, including most of which were monetary, is why Shanquella lost her life. But new evidence has just come up in the case that proves otherwise, as it basically reveals that they more than likely had something to do with her death. Interested in more? Stay tuned.
Well, I received a call on Saturday saying that my daughter was sick and that she had alcohol poison. But her doctor had never arrived, so I don't know where they had got the alcohol poison from.
Not only does the evidence completely gives a different account of the events that went down at the resort, where the group stayed, but it further proves the fact that the Cabo Six are once again lied for reasons that only make sense as them having a hand in her death. According to the details that hit the media after the death of Shanquella Robinson became public news, the story her friends pushed was that she had died from consuming too much alcohol. However, this was only the beginning of their many lies, as new details have just proven they lied about the hospital cost, a horrible lie that basically led to the 25-year-old's ultimate demise. What makes this even worse is that it is a lie they told her mother. For the story, after receiving the concerning phone call that her 25-year-old daughter may have had alcohol poisoning, she grew suspicious considering a doctor had not yet examined Shanquella. Salamandra told the news that the male friend she spoke with said the doctor recommended the Winston-Salem State graduate be taken to the hospital, but the friends refused, stating the $5,000 fee was too expensive. However, a new update from someone that actually called that very hospital about a similar case proves that the hospital didn't actually hike the prices, but that they had lied about that too. But there's a lot more to this story. You see, according to excerpts from a police report obtained by the Charlotte Observer, a doctor from a local hospital in Cabo, Mexico was with Robinson and other house members for almost 3 hours before she was pronounced dead on October 29th. The partial police report was provided to the Charlotte Observer by an investigative reporter for Metrópoli MX, a news publication in Mexico. In the report, authorities say at 2:13 p.m. on Oct. 29, medical aid was summoned to the villa where Robinson and her vacation crew were staying, located in San Jose del Cabo. An hour later, Dr. Gutierrez from the American Medical Center, a local hospital in the area, arrived to assist Robinson. Gutierrez was then told by others at the house that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol. He then decided to give Robinson an IV.
I told them just keep me informed, and they did call back, but they still saying it was alcohol poison.
The report goes on to say that Gutierrez found a female, understood in the report to be Robinson, with stable vital signs but dehydrated, unable to communicate verbally, and appearing to be inebriated. Gutierrez then told the other housemates he believed Robinson needed to be transferred to a hospital, but her friends insisted that she be treated at the villa. And this was almost the same story Shanquella's friends told her mom, except that they added the part where they claimed the hospital billed them $5,000 just to have her go in. But this lie has now been exposed by someone that was also in Mexico. However, that's not all that happened while the doctor was still with them. After the talks about the hospital, Dr. Gutierrez then tried to give Robinson an IV but was unsuccessful.
Heart crumbled up, just knowing my child was gone and I couldn't get there to her, could not do anything. And They said the medics came, 3 medics came, and no one couldn't do anything, couldn't save.
According to the police report, an hour into Gutierrez's house visit, Robinson began to have a seizure. 911 was called shortly after by one of the housemates. By this point, Shanquella Robinson was struggling to survive. She was suffering from difficulty breathing and a lowered pulse. At 4:49 p.m., Gutierrez detected Robinson had stopped having a pulse. They quickly began giving her CPR. The report says police arrived at 5:25 p.m. and paramedics administered a total of 14 rounds of CPR, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 discharges without success. The only thing that this timeline proves is that Robinson's life could have actually been saved if it was really an accident. But the fact that they chose to not get her the help she needed to survive proves that there's a lot more they are telling the world about the events that led up to her death, and this very reason is what has dragged her family and people all over the world into the case and demanding for answers.
Being arrested and doing time in Mexico. Everybody extradited over there and doing their time there. That'll be justice for us as of now.
Per the original story, Robinson of Charlotte, North Carolina, went to the resort city of San Jose del Cabo on the southern tip of Mexico's Baja California peninsula with 6 friends on October 28th. These 6 friends, who are now the prime suspects in the case, shot themselves in the foot when they told stories with conflicting timelines. And it also doesn't help them that her family never believed a word they said, particularly Shanquella's mom. Robinson's mother, Salamandra, said she spoke with her daughter on a Friday night before she was getting ready for dinner, not knowing it would be their last conversation. She said, "Well, Mother, I'm getting ready to eat," Salamandra Robinson told GMA in an interview airing Friday. "I said, well, okay, enjoy yourself. Have a good time, and I love you and I will talk to you tomorrow." The mother said she got a frantic telephone call from her daughter's friends the next day saying she had died from alcohol poisoning. That evening, I got a call saying that Shanquella wasn't feeling well, Salamandra Robinson said. However, the Mexican Secretariat of Health's autopsy report and death certificate for Shanquella Robinson, obtained by news outlets, lists her cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, with no mention of alcohol.
That was the autopsy saying that her death had nothing to do with alcohol. Say she had a cracked spinal and say her neck had been broken. So that automatic let me know that she were jumped.
The document also states that the approximate time between injury and death was 15 minutes, while a box asking whether the death was accidental or violent was ticked yes. According to the document, which was dated Nov. 4. Robinson was found unconscious in the living room of a residence on Padre Quino Avenue in San Jose del Cabo on the afternoon of October 29. Robinson's mother told GMA that her daughter's friends came to her house before the autopsy report came out. She said each friend came back and told her something different, so she never believed their stories. Besides their conflicting storylines of what happened and the fact that they lied about the cost of getting her help, there is also another compelling piece of evidence that proves they never had good intentions for Robinson.
This was a phone call that I received that it was a fight. So the video had to be out before they actually come back to Charlotte.
You see, shortly after the news about Shanquella's passing got out, a video purportedly showing Robinson being brutally beaten by another woman in an apparent hotel room with a tropical view seen from a balcony also came out.
And if you see the video actually shows that she was not fighting nobody back. She didn't even have a chance. All of them sitting there looking. No one sat, tried to stop it. She had nobody over there to help her,
The woman in the video, identified as Robinson, is not shown defending herself in the one-sided fight. The brief clip shows Robinson being punched in the head and face multiple times and thrown on the floor before more blows are rained down on her. This new video also compounded things for the group, as it made Shanquella family less likely to believe that they had nothing to do with her death.
Did you get a call from the police at any point about what they found?
Oh, I never received a call from the police saying what they found.
Or an autopsy, anything like that?
Later on that week, that Thursday, we received a call. That was the autopsy saying that her death had nothing to do with alcohol. Say she had a cracked spinal and say her neck had been broken. So that automatic let me know that she were jumped.
So did you, at that point, have you spoken with the friends that were with her since then?
I spoke to the friends, like they had, when she actually passed, it was on a Saturday evening night when they called. But I talked to them. I think they'll ride back home maybe Sunday or Monday. And I talked to them like on Tuesday and Wednesday. I talked to them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And they kept on saying there was never a fight. There was never a fight. So I didn't believe any of them.
I did not believe them because actually before they even got back to Charlotte, I don't know when they arrived, but someone had already called us and said that someone was fighting her over there, Salamander Robinson said. By the time that we questioned each one of them, and each one of them gave us a different statement. The people that she was with, I knew one of them very well, and I thought that he was her friend and he would look out for her, she added. But unfortunately, that's not what it was. However, it wasn't just Shanquella's mom that had pretty terrible things to say about their disbelief in the story her friends told. Her sister also had a few thoughts about them. Elon, Shanquella Robinson's older sister, said she was in disbelief and fell to her knees when she heard the news of her sister. Speaking more about the whole subject of her friends' involvements, she said, I was more believing the dude that she went on the trip with because that was her best friend. So I didn't think that he would be malicious about anything. I didn't think that he would tell us a lie. I trusted him, so I took his word for it more than anything. And he said it was alcohol poisoning. For many people, the theory seems to be that certain forces are intentionally preventing the Cabo 6 from being made to face the music for their actions. Like in the case of this user who wrote, it's really hard for me to believe that if Shanquella Robinson was a different hue, the Cabo 6 would be in custody by now. I don't like what it's giving. We can't let this beautiful woman's death go unanswered. Of course, this doesn't prove anything about how the case is actually going. But we'll stick to the sidelines till more details about the whole thing get out. That's it for this video. Goodbye.